Here, I did not change it.
Okay. Okay, sir. Let me introduce. Okay. Hi. This is Priyadarshi. I'm the founder of eduMENTES.com. We are into online education and advanced technologies. And today we had invited Mr. Prashanth. He is one of the blockchain and in fact cryptocurrency expert for last 7 years. So and he had accepted our request to start our first masterclass. And this will be a series which will be continuing. Okay. Over to you, sir.
Okay, thank you, Priyadarshi. As you know, my name is Prashanth Sahu, and I am from Tokyo, Japan. Basically, I am from Bhubaneswar. I completed my MCA in 2001, and then I worked in Flextronics back in 2007. I moved to Japan, worked in finance sector. Um, I started my financial career in Callion Financial. Then I worked with Japan Next. We started a new exchange in for equity trading in Japan, and it's called SBI Japan Next Market. And in 2001, I moved to Deutsche Bank. Sorry, can you give me 1 minute? Ian, wait. Priyadarshi, Priyadarshi,
Yes, sir. Tell me.
give me 1 minute, okay?
Sir.
My son is disturbing me.
Sir. Okay. Yeah, I'll carry it. Okay. Sorry for the unavoidable scenarios when we are doing from the work from home. Okay. Let me tell you all about our thing. Basically, our parent company is Knowledge and Innovation Technology Private Limited. We are into AI/ML, and very recently we had entered to the blockchain things. Uh, Finding some resource intensive blockchain is a resource intensive profile where we are finding issues in getting proper resources. That's the reason we are starting this blockchain masterclass. Over to you, sir.
Okay. Sorry, my son was troubling me. No problem. Thank you. So I started my career in India in Flextronics in telecom domain, basically C++ platform. Then I moved to Japan, worked in finance, mostly C++, Visual C++, then Unix, POSIX, C++. Then I joined 2011. I joined in Deutsche Bank, continued there 7.5 years. And in 2018, I joined SBI Group. It's a big financial company in Japan. It's not State Bank of India. In SBI is next to Rakuten. In Japan, they have a very good presence. And last year, I was a CTO of SBI cryptocurrency market. And inside SBI, we are running crypto business as well as we are doing equity trading, proprietary trading. So there are 18 developers. They are working under me. And thank you for joining. So this is about me. Could I quickly request everybody to introduce? Maybe just take 15 seconds to introduce yourself before we kickstart our program. Hello. Can everybody hear me? Hello. Hello. Okay. Hello,
Hello.
hello. Yeah, Priyadashi,
Yeah,
could I?
I think Menka ma'am is there. Menka, please introduce yourself. Hello, Menka. Okay, we'll go to Anjan. Hello, Anjan.
Yes, sir, I am here.
Yeah, hi. Could you please introduce yourself and what you're expecting? And just 10 to 15 seconds.
I am basically from Bhubaneswar. I'm studying at ITR. One of my friends said that blockchain is like it's trending in the market. So I just wanted to learn blockchain. That's it.
Okay, thank
Okay,
you.
good. Thank you.
And Kirtana?
over 3 papers కు 12 members ఇరుకోలేం సార్ 12 members split பண்ணீங்க சார் ஒரு 3 papers for the bunch of faculties அது பிரிச்சு பண்ணி கொடுத்துறோம் சார்.
Can you please come back, repeat one second,
Hello.
please? Man, yeah. Can you please repeat one second, please? Hello, Menka, are you there? Hello. Okay. Okay, maybe some communication issues is happening. Okay, Kirtana ma'am, can you please introduce yourself and what are your expectations? Maybe some issues. Okay, Uma. Hello, Uma. Sir, maybe she's also not here. And Sobhagya. Okay,
What I
okay.
would request is
Yeah, see, this is
you have
Kirtana
issue in
here.
audio,
Sir,
if you have issue in microphone, what you can do is you can introduce yourself over chat.
superb, sir. Okay, see, this is Kirtana. She just want to learn about blockchain.
Okay,
Fine.
okay, that's good. So, okay, let's quickly get started.
Sir.
Blockchain is based on cryptography. So I believe everybody knows cryptography. I want to make this session actually interactive because I want to know the participant. Uh, I don't want to do just a one way pitching. Rather, the best way to make yourself understood blockchain is to do a QA session, and I want to know where you are, and I want to take you from there so that you can understand blockchain in a better way. So I know everybody heard of blockchain, but blockchain is based on cryptography. So I want to know who knows about cryptography. So what is cryptography? Could you give me any example of cryptography? So because everything that happens in blockchain happens through cryptography. So I want to make sure that everybody is comfortable. What is cryptography? Then I want to ask everybody knows about linked list or not. So blockchain is just a cryptography plus a linked list. That's the blockchain. So in order to understand blockchain technology, you should know what is cryptography and what is a linked list. And if you know these two things better, I can give you a nice example how this blockchain is developed using cryptography and linked list. Then we'll go to a different implementation of blockchain. What is Bitcoin? What is Ripple? What is Ethereum? And what is how to create your own token or how to create your own cryptocurrency. And then we'll discuss about what is cryptocurrency addresses, and how one person can send cryptocurrency from one address to another address, what happens under the hood, how the blocks are added in the blockchain as a part of this transfer, and then we'll discuss about what are different issues with the blockchain. You have been knowing, like in past 5 years, there have been a lot of token, lot of currency being stolen from different exchanges, and that is most challenging thing. And how do we safeguard that? How do we defend ourselves from such kind of a hacking? Then we discuss about what would be the future of blockchain. What are different use cases? Why we need blockchain? Why everybody is so curious about blockchain? How it can transform our life in future. So yeah. So I would. Could I confirm everybody's microphone is working? I think we got some feedback from some introduction from Manika. What about Uma? And what about Saubhagya? Uh, Hello, could you please unmute your microphone and confirm me that you can uh, we can have a two-way audio. Could I request everybody to unmute their microphone and hey Anjan, could you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so let me ask you some question. You are a student in ITR, right? So do you know what is cryptography?
No, sir. I'm getting into this word for the first time.
Okay, you might be knowing which year of your engineering, which semester are you
I'm
in?
studying in third year, sir.
Okay, good. So do you know linked list? You do have known linked list at least.
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes, sir. I have come across.
So linked list is a data structure where we can traverse from using link to the next node. We can traverse forward, backward through pointers, and
Yes.
each node we can store some data. It can be an object, it can be a simple data type or composite data type. So I believe everybody knows about linked list. So let me add you what is how we add cryptography to a linked list to make it a blockchain. So every
So basically, where this blockchain is used.
we'll go to that. So I want to focus on the technology behind it. So have you heard of uh, MD5 checksum? Have you downloaded any movie or downloaded any software from internet? Have
Yes,
you
sir.
ever?
You turn from which we can download the movies and all.
Yeah. So whenever you download something, there is always a checksum associated with the file. Have you noticed it?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Do you know why that checksum is used?
No, sir.
So the checksum is used to verify during the download process if the software is corrupted. You can verify with the checksum. Suppose you are downloading a package, a software. Suppose you are downloading Microsoft Office from Microsoft's website, and while downloading, they have mentioned a checksum, and you downloaded 600 GB of data, and sorry, 600 TB of data, sorry, 600 MB of data, and after downloading, during the download process, the data might be corrupted. Okay, so how do you verify that the same package that I wanted to download is not corrupted? So you can check, you can run the checksum of the package locally and verify if the checksum matches with the checksum that is there in the website. That means the content is not being corrupted during the download process. So we use checksum for that. Okay. So one of the checksum is calculated in a cryptography algorithm, using a cryptography algorithm, and that cryptography algorithm is called message digest protocol. Okay, let me. Can everybody share? Can I share my screen?
Yes, sir, sure.
I believe
Yes, sir.
everybody can. Okay, let me. So, let me show you something here. So this is my terminal. I believe can you see it?
Yes, sir.
Could you look could you see my terminal?
Yes,
Yeah.
sir.
So there is a command called MD5 sum. That MD5 sum can give you the checksum of any file. Suppose uh, I I created a message like echo hello world. Okay, this is a message, and there is a checksum of that message. So if you just put it to MD5, so you can see the checksum of this message is that. Okay, so if I change the message to something, I'll get a different checksum. Okay, if I check the message to the, so this checksum is calculated on the message. Okay, so I can show it to, suppose let me create a file. Okay, my message dot text. This is a file, and I put something here, and I want to download this file from internet. So what I can do is I can do MD5 sum my file, sorry, cat my file MD5 sum. So this is the checksum, and after downloading from internet, I run the same command to verify if the checksum matches. That means the content is not corrupted. Okay, so the checksum is calculated by using a cryptography algorithm. It's called message digest protocol. Okay, and so in order to understand blockchain, we have to understand what this cryptography is. The cryptography basically takes the content of the file, and it it use that content to generate a unique cryptographic code that is unique to that file. For example, I might have some file here. You can see. Um, I have. I can show you. There are two files I have. One is bash history and bash logout. Okay, so I can run same algorithm on any file. Suppose I do bash history, then grep, sorry, then MD5 sum. So it give me another code. Similarly, if I do bash logout, so it gives me another code. So what it does is it actually goes through the message of the file and calculates a unique code for it. Okay, so what happens in cryptography, sorry, in blockchain, uh, we have blockchain is just a linked list where the the content of the linked list is the the checksum of previous linked lists. So if the previous linked list changes, the content this content of the current node will change. So there is a good tutorial. I think you guys should watch that in internet to understand what is blockchain. Uh, how does it creates the blocks, and how does it use the cryptographic protocol? Let me search it here. Oh no, I think in YouTube we can search it. Somebody's coming. So if you check this one, sorry. So 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 if you check this one, we have data, we have hash, and we have pointer to the next block. So this hash is calculated using the MD5 algorithm I told. So this MD5 creates the hash of the file. Similarly, we have in blockchain, it is just like a linked list where in the node we have a data and we have a hash of that node, and data plus hash. And if the data, if you change the data, the hash will change. As I told you here, if you change the data, suppose here in the file I have this I have this file I created just now. For my message, if I change the data right now, the value will change. Suppose I just put something, I change the data. Now the hash of this file will change. Okay, so the hash changed. So the moment the data changes, the hash changes. So blockchain is similarly, it's a linked list where where the uh, where the hash is calculated on data, and data represents the data has also the hash of the previous linked list. So and that's why it's called immutable. Sorry. So why it is called immutable? Because the data we cannot change it. The moment we change the data, the hash will change, and if the hash will change, the next block's hash will also change. And the next blocks, if there are like 100 blocks, and I change the data of the first block, then the hash of the first block will change, which is also a data on the second block, and the hash of second block will also change, which is also a data of the third block, and the hash of the third block will change because the hash of the third block is also data of fourth block. Okay, so that's why the blockchain is immutable, means you cannot change the content of the blocks. Once a block is stored, nobody can change it, because it is the blocks are, each block we have some data plus the hash of the previous block. That means if we change the block, any other blocks starting from that block, their hash will change, and as their hash will change, uh, uh, as the hash will change, so everything will change. That's why the blockchain is called immutable, because when we add a new block, we nobody can easily add a new block. Adding a new block needs permission from many other majority of the users on the blockchain. So when you want to add a new block, all the users in the blockchain, suppose you are creating a blockchain for land registration. So, and users of that blockchain will be a land register office in whole India, for example. So when a new block will be added, then majority of those users will vote that, okay, we are accepting the new block to be added. So once the new block is added, it cannot be removed, because the hash code of that block will be used for the next block. That means if a block is added yesterday and you want to do some changes on that data, you cannot change it, because the moment you change it, the next block, suppose there are 20 blocks added from yesterday till now, every block's content will change. And for if to change every block's content, it needs that means we have to add another block, another 20 blocks, and adding another 20 block requires permission from for another each, and adding a new block requires permission from majority of the users, and they will ask you why you are modifying a previous block. So they will not allow to add a content of previous block. They will reject it. So that's why it's bulletproof, that nobody can add, can modify content of the previous block. Somebody is waiting. So let us go through this one. Okay. So have you studied? Okay. Let's watch this one.
We are not able to hear, sir.
Oh, can you hear it?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, I want to show you some demo. Yes.
Sir, you can share the YouTube link here in the chat section.
Okay. Okay.
That
Okay.
would be the
Okay.
good one.
Maybe I can draw something here. Okay, just a minute. Let me get my pen. Where is my pen? Okay, let me send this. Yes, Control C. Okay. Oh, because I was. Okay, what I'll do is just give me some time. I'm organizing certain things. Okay, so you can watch this one to understand the blocks. Okay, so understanding blockchain means to understand how the blocks are created in the blockchain. And so blockchain is basically, it's a linked list, and all the data stored in the linked list is hashed, and hash codes are also stored as a part of the data. And as the hash code changes, uh, each time the data changes, the hash code changes. So we cannot we cannot temper the data, because if we change the data, the hash code will be different. And like this, all those hash code, all those blocks are added like a linked list, and it creates a big linked list which is stored in a distributed database. And this distributed database is not a kind of RDBMS. It's like a NoSQL database where each data is stored in many computers, and those computers are called node. In Bitcoin, those are called Bitcoin node. Suppose you want to do Bitcoin mining, you have to first install a Bitcoin node, because that node connects to Bitcoin network, where you have access to verify a block which is coming, or you can also commit a block. Commit means you can add a block. And so Bitcoin network consists of many nodes that are connected to internet, and that those nodes are, there are many nodes in the whole world. There are more than 500,000 Bitcoin nodes, and those nodes create a network of computers, and their job is to verify the new blocks that are coming, and uh, and solve a problem within a span of period. Uh, if any of the node that can solve the problem, that node will become a leader node to add a new block into the distributed database. So as I told you, distributed database is just a linked list. It's just a list of blocks, and whoever will become a leader can add a new block into the database. So now who can become a leader? Suppose in Bitcoin, uh, um, I think in Bitcoin, every 10 minutes there is a new block added. So within 10 minutes, whole Bitcoin network, if any transactions that happens, suppose A transfer money to B, A transferred Bitcoin to B, or B transferred to C, or C transferred to D, whatever the Bitcoin addresses, whatever transactions are happening in the Bitcoin addresses in last 10 minutes are stored in a block, and it contains.
Can you sir share the website where we can see the Bitcoin nodes generating?
Yeah, I can share
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, please have a look,
Uh,
because there are many guys who are new to it.
okay, so let's every cryptocurrency has their own nodes. So let's one of the famous currency is Ethereum. Ethereum. Uh, okay, so in Ethereum Explorer here, you can see all these latest blocks you can see here. Okay, and you can see every it is 1 minute old. Okay, and this 37 was 45 seconds old, and now 38 new block is created. You can see it, right? So can you see it?
Yes, sir.
So in Ethereum network, like every 1 minute a new block is created. So now the block is 38, and and you can wait. You can see the next one block will come in. So and here you can see the miner is B pool, and here the miner was ETH mine. This was Spark tool. So in our company also, we are also mining Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Bitcoin Cash. So we have a mining rig in Iceland, and there we mine Ethereum and Bitcoin Cash. So now you can see another block 39 is created. Now another block 40 is created. So how these blocks are all this? Let's click one of the block. So you can see this block was created 44 seconds ago, and there are 123 transactions in this block. Transactions means in there means somebody transferred ETH from one address to another address. Okay, and ETH is also used for smart contract. Smart contract is, again, as I told you, in the linked list in the data part, there can be transfer of transactions, or there can be function addresses which are executed as a part of data. Can be anything. Data can be transfer transaction data, means transfer of crypto from one address to another address. Data can be smart contracts. Smart contract is different little bit. It's kind of function where you can specify do this, and in Ethereum we supports smart contract. So in the data you can write a function, and that function will be executed when the block will run, and it's mined by this guy. And these are the actually what is the um, difficulty level of mining it, and what was the total difficulty, and what is the byte size, and what is the gas used. So this is something interesting, the gas to mine a block. So as I told you, these blocks are, all these blocks are a linked list, and anybody can add a data, add a block anytime. So what happens is, these all these companies, they are called nodes. Basically these are miners, and miners are basically, if you can also become a miner, you have to download their open source project and compile it and run it in your laptop or computer. Once you run it, you can actually see the blocks coming to your node, uh, but you cannot write a new block. Because why? Because all the nodes, they so all the nodes, they, every time there is a new block, they do voting that who can actually mine this, who can actually add it into the blockchain. So the voting happens on, they will give you a they will give you a code, and you have to calculate the original message of that code. For example, quickly I can show you here. Here here what I am doing is, I have some content in the file, right? And the code, the hash code is this one, but I have the file, that I can see what is the content in the file. Okay, I can see the content, and in the whole world, this content will have only this hash code, and that means there is a one-to-one mapping between the content and the hash code. So if I have the content, I can quickly calculate the hash code. But the problem I am giving you is, I have the hash code. Could you give me the content? If I tell you that I have the hash code, could you give me the content? Can you calculate the content or not? So if I ask you which is easy task, we have the command and we have the content. If you just run this command, you can get the hash code. But if I have the hash code and I ask you what is the content of the content of this hash code, how long it will take for you to calculate that content? It will take long time, because each code here is a hexadecimal number, and each digit has 16 different combinations. So what are different possible combination will come up to you is, so just a minute. Now if I do this, how many characters? WC. So we have sorry, just a minute. We have this file, we have echo. So we have 32 characters. So that means uh, for each character we have 16. So 16 to the power 32 times. It will take you this much time, 16 power 32. So it, what is the value of 16 to the power 32? it will take that much time to actually calculate this content. And this is a problem. So this problem, what will happen is, I just give you an example of problem. So when this kind of problem will be given to all those miners, okay, and whoever will solve the problem first, that miner will become the winner, and that miner can write the block into the blockchain. And for writing that block into the blockchain, that miner will get some reward, some money, and that money is called gas price. So gas price means what is the price required to compute, to do that calculation. For example, I showed the example of the calculation. What is the time required to do this kind of calculation? So each time there is a block, each time there is a new block created in the blockchain, this kind of problem is broadcasted to all the nodes. Then the blockchain will ask, who is the guy who can solve this and give me the answer. And the guy who can solve and give the answer faster, that guy will become the winner. And the other guys will, even if they do computation, they will not get award, they will not get reward, and they cannot add the block. So this is called mining. And whoever mines, or mines means adds, whoever add the block, they will get this price. This is in ETH. This is, I think, there is a calculation. The value of this one is around 20 rupees. Whoever creates the block around 20 rupees, that guy will get this. It's called gas price. So similarly, so blockchain is nothing, it's just a distributed database where nodes join to the database, and each node is a block, and the block has a data and a hash. Data is the transaction of the block, and the transaction are basically transfers. If you go to the transactions, so you can see, so these are the transactions in that particular block. And here this transaction is saying that from this address, the cryptocurrency is moving to this address, and the transaction fee is this one. The transaction fee is basically the gas fee. So here you can see somebody sending ETH from this address to this address, and here you can see somebody is sending ETH, 10 ETH from this address to this address. So these are transactions that are stored in this part of the block. And all this transaction, if I just copy this, if I copy into a file, I think I can download it as well. But if I just copy these transactions and create a hash, that hash will be stored in the next block. Suppose I just copy this. For example, I'm just giving you a quick example. I just copy this and I create the hash. Okay, suppose so I copied the transaction and stored it, and I create the hash of it. So this hash will be stored to create the next block. Okay, so that means if you change the transaction, the hash will also change. Is not it? So if you change anything in the transaction, the hash will change. And as you cannot change the hash of the next block, you cannot change the content of the previous block. So so the blockchain is immutable because of this. So as you can see, the blocks are added every time. I think 1 minute. Every 1 minute blocks are added. So every one minute you can see new blocks are coming up. So you cannot go and change anything in this block, because this block's hash code is stored here, and this block's hash code is stored here, and this block's hash code is stored here. So similarly, all these blocks cannot be changed at all. And every time the blockchain is growing, and all the nodes who are participating in the block in the distributed database, they are get they are solving this problem of computing the original message from the hash, and whoever computed, he got the mining fee. And a lot of company, they actually do this business of mining. But in mining, computation takes long time, because I told you, to solve the problem you have to do how many times, uh, 16 to the power 32 times of calculation in a permutation, find out what would be the content and match it with the block. And it takes a lot of time, a lot of CPU to do this kind of calculation. And that's why a lot of people, they pay a lot of electricity, and they don't get that money from the mining fee. So mining is related to how much power you are spending on computing, to make sure that you become the leader. And each time a block is committed, the next block is generated. So accordingly, throughout 24 hours, this distributed network is always up, and it continues like that. And uh, the beauty is, nobody can change this. Once a block is persisted, nobody can change it. Nobody can do any kind of corruption. That's why the blockchain is very useful for those markets where there are a lot of corruption going on. People, land registration, in jewelry, in shared resources, where you have some resource you want to share it, in shared economy, where you have some resource you want to share it with others. So we can use blockchain technology to implement those things. And once once the block is created, so for example, we want to use blockchain in land registration. In India, selling land, there are a lot of forgery, lot of corruption going on. People sell land without record, then they go back and change the record, registration record, and it goes to somebody else. So this is not good. So how can blockchain use to solve this? So obviously, blockchain, we can create a blockchain of like we copy Ethereum and use it, create our own Indian real estate coin, for example. It will be another blockchain, another linked list, where blocks will be added by nodes which are participating in that link, distributed network. But the data will be the hash code and the data of transfer records. Here the data is transfer of cryptocurrency from one address. So here the transaction is transfer of cryptocurrency from one address to another address. But in land registration, it can be transfer of land from one person to another person. Okay. And each person will have an address which can be linked to their Aadhaar card. And when they want to, if there is some land transfer, it will be inserted in the block. And once it is inserted into the block, nobody can change it. And as nobody can change it, it is good, because nobody can temper it after the transaction takes place. So this is good for land registration, for various use cases where there is always a high risk of data corruption. And we can use blockchain to implement those. And once we set up the
So
blockchain,
I'm getting some network issue due to rainfall.
okay. So do you have any question? This is just an introduction session. There are other advanced topics, like suppose you want to install a ETH host, what are different steps required. So I would say, if you have interest to if you have interest to blockchain, please let me know. I will help you out how you can do some development using blockchain
Okay, sir.
technology. and it's open source. Uh, and the best way to do some development is to build the node in your local machine. So you can build Ethereum node, you can easily build Ripple node. So Ripple has also similar kind of blockchain. So you can here you can see how to build Ripple node. Okay. So there are instructions available how to build a Ripple node, and once you build a Ripple node, you can see all the transactions in Ripple, and you can also create. So first thing is, yeah, one thing I missed is this Ripple. There is a little bit difference between Ripple and Ethereum. So Ethereum is decentralized blockchain, and Ripple is centralized blockchain. So what is decentralized means these nodes, what I told, they are they are decentralized, means it's a distributed database. These nodes, they are somewhere in the world, and they are part of the database. They can access the blocks, but they are not under single person's control. Suppose you want to build a mining machine, you can set up a node and join, and your name will come here if you actually commit a block. So there is no governance. These nodes are decentralized. There is no single governing authority. So that's why it is called decentralized blockchain. But Ripple, in the other hand, everything is controlled by Ripple Corporation. So our company is also a partner of Ripple. So basically, we we sell Ripple here in Japan because SBI Ripple is a sister concern of original Ripple company. So this this Ripple is a private blockchain. It's not a decentralized blockchain. It's centralized. So Ripple has its own machines, the whole world, and their own machine creates the block and adds it into the linked list. So so Ethereum is decentralized, Ripple is centralized. That means you cannot mine Ripple on your own. Only Ripple guys can mine Ripple, and ETH and BTC you can mine because these are decentralized blockchain platform. And so the best way to learn blockchain is first create a node. So create a node. So to create a node, let me to create a node, you have to. I have the instructions. Maybe you can reach me later. I'll send you how you can actually build your own node in your laptop or in your PC and join the network, ETH network. And why I'm saying about ETH, because ETH is still like a very small blockchain network. Like Ethereum, Bitcoin is very big, and sometimes there are a lot of blocks are generated in Bitcoin, and you have to spend a lot of electricity bill if you just create a BTC, sorry, Bitcoin network. But ETH, it is not that CPU intensive. You can actually run it a few days in your own environment to understand the technology, and you don't need to pay a lot of electricity bill for this. And this is also open source. You can download entire source code of ETH node and read through it. How does it does the quorum consensus algorithm? How does it calculate who will become the node, and what is the problem definition? How does it solve, and how you can create parallel processing environment to solve this? So these things you can go through the source code and understand it. That's why it is easy to learn for newcomers. And and this also, the value of ETH is very less. Means in the, right now the value of ETH is $190, and if you want to really create some transactions to test, you can spend small money, and you can send small money from one address to another address and see how it is going. But in Bitcoin, the value is right now very huge, very big. So for students, it might be very expensive to play with Bitcoin. So I recommend to play with ETH. Okay, so I want to. It's already 1 hour, so I have been talking a lot. If you have any question, let me know. Hello, Priyadasi?
Yes, sir. I would like to ask, sir, any small use cases which you can tell in 2 or 3 minutes of blockchain,
Use cases, as I told you, the land registration system.
sir.
uh, that is the best use case we can implement in blockchain. Using we can create our own token.
Okay.
Okay, so here, if you search uh, how to create uh, own token in Ethereum. Okay, so there is a step. So you can actually build your own Ethereum ECR20 tokens using the Ethereum network. And using that, once you have a token, I would say for India's land formation, we can create a token called INR, or some kind of 4-digit letter. We can create a token and use that token to um, transfer property. So create in ERC20, we can specify the smart contract. What is the owner's name, and what is the property address, property description, and neighboring properties, and this property is being defined as a token. And when the transfer happens from one owner to another owner, it is actually the token is being sent from one owner to another owner. So that will be the best example of blockchain. Similarly, for renewable energy, blockchain can be used. Suppose there are solar powers companies, a lot of companies, Adani Group and other companies, they are generating solar powers. When the solar power is distributed, um, um, that how many watts are distributed can be tokenized into ECR tokens, and each time somebody, uh, the company is sending a token to, sorry, the company is selling the power to consumer, or consumer is selling power to company, can be classified as a blockchain. For example, in Japan, a lot of company, they have rooftop solar panel. So a lot of household, they have rooftop solar panel. That means the small houses, they harvest electricity, and during daytime that electricity is fed to the grid, and in night time the house actually get electricity from the grid. So this can be also used as a blockchain. The amount of electricity can be tokenized, and once it is tokenized, transaction can be tracked through tokens. The way ETH is a token, it is a cryptocurrency. Similarly, I also have some tokens actually. I created my own token. I created PK token in Ethereum network, and when I create the token, you have to specify what is the total supply of the token. Is it 20 million token or 100 million token? And once that total supply is defined, then in that total supply, token can be transferred from one owner to another owner, and these transfers are recorded in the blockchain. So when we create a token for land registration, we can specify, suppose one token represent 1 square feet of land. Okay, so we can find out how many square feet of land is there in India and how much token is required. and we create that market capitalization of the tokens, and the token can move from one place to another, one owner to another uh, uh, in the blockchain.
Okay, so should we stop? It's been already 1 hour.
Yeah, it's already 1 hour. So
Okay.
before we stop, maybe we can ask questions to
Yeah.
participant if they have any questions.
Anyone have any questions? Okay, fine. I think there is no questions. Anyways, we'll be uploading this video, recorded video, in our YouTube link. And please be in touch with our social media in Facebook as well as in through our mail. And even we have our mail list. We have your mail list. We'll be sharing all the details in your emails. I hope it will be good. Any questions on it? Do let us know. Do mail us with your questions. And thank you, Prashanth sir. Thank you everybody for sparing your time on this Saturday at this lockdown time. And
Oh, no
be,
problem. You are
yeah,
welcome.
be safe and stay safe. Stay safe. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir, you can end things, sir.
Yeah.
You are the host, sir.